Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about smart meters. That's the meter that's outside your house that's now pulsing constantly. It's a sawtooth 0.95 gigahertz frequency. It's pulsing every second to every three minutes, and it's very biologically hazardous. Those meters outside your house that's been attached to probably your kids' and daughter's bedroom. And this is right out of my building biology textbook. And it says conclusion, right here in this little textbook here, digital smart meters, whether AMR, AMI, or non-communicating, are an assault on all biology and ecology and all living things. So the Building Biology Institute is the really the grandfather to really understanding this stuff. This is the organization that's been talking about EMF since the 70s, but because everybody's on doctor's orders, they do your cigarettes because that's more doctors recommend Camels than any other cigarette. We're all on doctor's orders right now that we cannot use any common sense, and then we also have smart meter frequencies here that's getting pulsing into your kids' bedrooms. That's now an assault on all biological life. And I'm going to turn on this little spectrum analyzer here. If you can kind of see over there, I'm kind of looking at my computer. And this is a pretty inexpensive spectrum analyzer. And again, this is an antenna right here, and your body is an antenna. Your skin's an antenna. So it operates between 500 and 2400 gigahertz or 2400 megahertz. And we're going to start this here and see those pulsing there. Each one of those pulses, that is a 911 pulse. So that is your megahertz frequency there, which is a smart meter frequency. This frequency is pulsing in your home. This home here doesn't even have a smart meter. Well, it's been covered. This is coming from the outlying areas, 910, 912, and all these other frequencies here. So every time these are all biologically hazardous to your health. All these pulses here, and that's been proven. That's something you can see right here. Not only that, we also have a spectrum analyzer here called the RF Explorer, and I can do the same thing here. This little guy right here can tell me which frequencies. That's a radio tower frequencies. Plus, I have the HF59B, and you can hear the frequencies. I'm picking up radio stations as well. So you can hear the frequencies, you can see the frequencies. We also know that this biological hazardous product is also in your wiring. And if we go over here to the oscilloscope, right over here, we've already done, see these jars right here? See these jag? That's pulsing into the magnetic field that pulses throughout the entire house that you have right now. So if I take a filter and plug it in right here, now that reduces the dirty electricity. So that is what your smart meter companies, or 1.3 million being installed in the Missouri homes right now, they've eliminated the filter to eliminate that. It costs them $2. But for them, 1.3 million smart meters saves them $2 times 1.3 million. They save $3 million basically by not putting that little that filter in there. Problem with it is it's going to cost you thousands to fix that now. So now you have to deal with that, and it's why your kids have ADHD, it's why you're having problems. So let's go back to the light bulb example here before I finish off with my conclusion with the virus. We're going to talk about the virus in a second. So we have the light bulb idea. Turn it off like this. We'll hook in the old light bulb tester. Plug this in like this. All right. And then we're going to turn this on. That might help my battery work. Well, we'll skip the light bulb test because my battery doesn't work right now. So I had the space shuttle man. He works for me now, works with me now. We know through the invisible rainbow that the Earth is electricity. We all know that. So that'd be the first thing I would check is we have a problem with our health. We want to check the electricity of the Earth, but we're all following orders from the doctor. We don't want to talk about the smart meter because it's hazardous to our health. But what we do know through the government's program here, the radio frequency microwave radiation biological fast safety standard, this is stamped top secret at one time. And if I go to cardiovascular effects, this is one experiment performed in rabbits indicates several types of cardiovascular dysfunctions could be possible. So since the government's already done the studies on our lungs, knowing that EMS affect the lungs, you would think that because of dirty electricity that's in the walls, and because the earth is actually made out of electricity, that might be the first thing you might check. You don't release 3,000 frequencies into the environment and not expect a dysfunction. So the CDC came out with a brand new report here. It basically said that 94% of all COVID deaths may have been falsely reported. Okay, imagine that. So only 6% of the deaths are attributed to COVID. So basically about 10,000 people now have died of COVID. But unfortunately, as many times as we want to even consider the 10,000 deaths, according to the PCR scientist, the inventor, he said that this test is not designed for infection. It was only for experimental, for education purposes, for research only. The test is for research. So now we're using a test that doesn't even test for a virus. And according to my doctor who saved my life, he even said that I think it sets me aside from maybe from other well-known speakers is I actually see patients here every day. The 2.4 gigahertz makes populations docile, and also before it was mass introduced as known that over 2 or 3 generations of exposure would turn the entire population infertile. We have a crisis of infertility. So we know that the cell phone company says that that's actually a hazard. We know the IEEE, which is the original industry documentation the industry actually used, says that it's hazardous to all humans as well as all living organisms. Okay, we know that Ladius Ptolemus actually did a study and found that the pulse frequencies are bad back in 64 BC. We know that we haven't isolated the environment. We haven't isolated the virus. Hasn't been done. The coach postulate hasn't been done. Skip the rivers because that doesn't work out very well. So they never isolated the virus. Now using your genetic DNA, so that's good for them to have. Even the Chinese authorities said that there's clear evidence that there's no clear evidence of human transmission of the coronavirus. I can't even pronounce the word. That guy said that was a scam. He's a medical doctor. That guy said it was a scam. That guy said it was a scam. He said it was a scam twice. This guy said he was looking to make massive, make billions. He's the guy that runs the FCC. He don't care about doing any tests. He thinks about making millions. That's all he cares about. So we got him. He's corrupt. He's running everything. We got a fake test that the industry did on a mannequin because the cell phone industry was so deadly. They did a fake test. We know that the width of the frequencies will affect different parts of your body parts. They've already done that studies. We also know that the 5G is going to be in your light bulbs. We already did the test here as well. This is something to consider.